Good afternoon, sir. So I have two questions. So the first one is that just like there is a concept of minimum wage, do you believe that there should be a concept of maximum wealth? Because the riches of our society are just like black holes, sucking all the resources from the society. Though they seem to be ethically and legally correct, at the end of the day, the large heaps of wealth make no sense to me when I see the tremendous poverty rampant in our society.
Right. Just as it is wonderful to have a minimum wage, hmm, the corresponding idea should not be maximum wage but proportional resources. Now we'll go into that. Proportional resources. When you say maximum wage, what you mean is that there ought to be an upper limit on how much wealth a single individual can own, right? No, there can be a better idea. The idea is proportional resources. Resources proportional to what? Proportional to the importance of work that you are doing. This would be the Vedantic view on that. This would be the right, deep, and informed view on wealth distribution or income distribution. You see, who am I? Who are you? And what do we therefore want? We are conscious beings, right? Obviously. So we are consciousness. And what do we want? We want this consciousness to rise, to be higher, to be better, and to be more free. If that's what we want, what do we require? We require resources. Because for whatever you want to do as an embodied being, you require resources of all kinds. And that's the only proper use of resources. Elevation of human consciousness. There is no other right use of resources. Resources are not meant to just entertain you, feed you, fatten you, comfort you, keep you secure. No. That's an improper, and if not improper, then a very secondary use of resources. Right? The right use of money or any other kind of resources, it has to be used towards the elevation of one's consciousness. And when I say one's consciousness, I mean entire mankind. Right? So how much money should you have? It should be proportional to your intention to use it in the right direction. If you are using your money towards the elevation of your consciousness and social consciousness and global consciousness, if you are using it towards the right reasons, if your objectives are correct and pure, then there should be no upper limit to the funds that should flow to you. Whereas if you intend to consume wealth just for personal gratification, then you do not deserve even a penny. Maybe all that you deserve is the minimum wage lower limit. Yes, there ought to be a lower limit to how much a person gets. Because the body, just for its basic sustenance, requires certain resources. So that much everybody is entitled to. And that much should be assured to everybody. So the lower limit should definitely be there. But beyond the lower limit, the law of proportional entitlement should come into play. How to do that? That's another question. Even if it is difficult to devise a method or a formula, we have to try because it's a very worthy goal. Once resources, money, power, reach start coming to the right people, the face of this earth will change in no time. The entire problem today is that very, very undeserving people are hoarding billions and trillions of dollars, whereas the right causes are suffering for want of resources. This discrepancy has to be corrected. And there is no way to correct it than by applying the law of proportional entitlement. The question has to be, if you have money, what are you going to use it for? That has to be the question. Private property is just not a private concern, because the way one uses money affects the society in a huge way. So it is not a personal matter at all. In fact, even the fact of the name of the person who has money affects society in a big way. What if you know that a scoundrel is a greatly rich person? What impact does that have on everybody who has this knowledge? A youngster knows that a rascal has $1 billion. What are you now pushing that youngster to become? Another rascal? No. So money is not just a private matter. And remember, money can move a lot. Money has a lot of power, it moves things. If money is in the wrong hands, you know the kind of things it will move and in the direction it will move. Therefore, the very concept of private property has to be re-examined in the light of consciousness, in the light of the basic human requirement. When we do not know who we are, then we come up with such shallow concepts like private property. But once you know that you are not just the body, but actually a suffering consciousness within, then you know that consciousness has no direct use for money. The body may have some use for money. Well, you can eat food, you can buy clothes, you can buy a house. All that is mostly for the body. But it's not money that the consciousness requires. It requires something else. It requires understanding and it requires liberation. Money cannot get you that. Not at least directly. Therefore, money has to be used as a right resource, not as an end, but as a medium. The end is liberation. If liberation is the end, and if we all need to be liberated, then money has to go to places that are aiding, facilitating liberation. Are you getting it? Now, in the light of this discussion, look at the world. Look at the points that command money. Look at the ideologies that govern money. The corporations that are the richest. The individuals with the highest net worths. Think of them and ask yourself, if these are the people and the powers and the governments and the organizations that are ruling money, what are they doing to mankind with the money that they are ruling? Because money is a great power in the material sense. Who should have that power? A dimwit who does not know whether he is speaking from his brain or his hormones, his intellect, his consciousness, or just his instincts, animal instincts. Should this kind of a person be allowed to have tremendous money? Remember, it's not his personal matter. We need to reiterate that. It's not his personal matter, it affects all of us. With that money, he will definitely do things that push all of us deeper into darkness and ignorance. So why should he be allowed to have that much money? Are you getting it? Only truth should have power. The
So
problem
like
is,
these, so like these, you're saying that money possesses a lot of power, and the way the rich people use money basically makes a blueprint in in the youth of this generation, that
obviously,
what they will do if they were so rich, and
obviously.
and eventually in the progress of life they intend to go towards that direction to some extent,
You see, you have billions of
whatever money they
dollars,
can.
you have billions of
Yes.
dollars, and you very well know that if you wipe out a jungle, you will get access to a lot of mineral resources that lie in the soil beneath the trees. With your billions, you can buy out a government and then you can buy out that jungle as well. Huh? And wipe it clean from existence. Now that's what money can do. That's what money can do. And that's what money is doing. So should money be allowed to stay with those whose levels of consciousness are pretty dim?
So I just have one small question. Like the Westerners are showing an increasing interest in Indian culture, owing to its roots with spirituality, but the young, even the older Indian generation, is showing an increasing drift towards the Western world. Talking about Indian culture, it has been restricted to rituals and ceremonies. The holy places have become a destination of mere travel and enjoyment. Nobody talks about the lost spirituality. What are your views on it?
No, that's what. Unless you bring out the real spirit of religion, hmm, that is spirituality enshrined in Vedanta, why will people listen to you? The West, over the last few decades, has leaned towards spirituality because it is picking up only the pure spiritual part of religion. When Westerners come to India, do they come to participate in our hollow rituals? No, they don't. When you talk of the Indic impact on the West, what is it that the West values and is influenced by? It is Advait, non-duality. Nothing else. The West, the intellectuals, don't give a damn about all the superstitions and beliefs and nonsense that we carry in the name of Hindu religion. They're not bothered. To the extent the West respects Hindu religion, it is because of Vedanta. All else they are not interested in. All else they know as hogwash. They'll not come here to enjoy crackers with you. They'll not come here to participate in our superstitions and senseless beliefs. And that's exactly what the young generation is also saying. It is saying we will not participate in the old nonsense. But if you can bring Vedanta to them, they will be interested, just as the Westerners are interested. And that's the only way the Hindu religion is going to move ahead. If the Sanatan stream has to have a future, that future lies in Vedanta. All else will very soon become the debris of time. Science and critical thinking will not allow our useless beliefs and traditions to carry on. The new generation has effectively already jettisoned religion, because the form of religion that has been displayed to them is actually worthy of being jettisoned. Most young people today do not want to have anything to do with religion. 8 out of 10, I would say, or 9 out of 10. And the remaining ones who still talk of religion are the ones who believe in archaic values and are with religion for the sake of personal aggrandizement. The ones who chant slogans on the streets and raise a big hue and cry and troll people in the name of religion. So you are seeing these two parallel trends. One, the big majority of the young population is clearly weaning away. And the ones who are remaining with religion are remaining as bigots. Deluded zealots who know nothing of religion and yet keep shouting religious slogans in a belligerent way. For them, religion is something that you feed to your ego so that it becomes bigger. The only way, therefore, to keep youngsters in the religious fold is by introducing Vedanta to them. And that is not about keeping Vedanta alive. That's about keeping those youngsters alive. Every single conscious being needs Vedanta. You're not even a proper human being if nobody has brought to you even the idea that the mind is a conditioned thing and there is freedom beyond the mind. If you do not know of your own conditioning, then you are an animal, driven by just the biological instincts and desires. So all youngsters, not only Indian, not only Hindu, all youngsters need Vedanta. And a great mission is needed. A great demonstration of collective energy is needed.